Welcome everyone, we are back again. It's Monday. It's time for a show about Six Flags called the Six Flags Show. Today's topic is a ride that I think can go either way on our recommendations to keep it or not. It's called the River King Mine Train. Now, this has a crazy history. I did a little bit of research for this for the first time ever.
You actually did research?
I did. Now, it was original to the park, 1971, so this year the mine train is going to be 50. So we'll have to go on it a bunch. And I personally love the mine train.
I have an idea. We can go on the mine train 50 times.
50 times this year.
50 times.
So what are your thoughts about the mine train?
I love the ride. We're not changing it.
Hold on. We'll get to that in a second.
We're not changing it.
So the video's over. Caleb said we're not changing it. We're good. It opened with the park in 1971 and had two different tracks.
What?
The track that we ride now, and then there was another track. I know. So, I don't know if they were like identical, if you live back in then and can remember. I don't know if they were like identical, just kind of opposite.
Kind of like the, what's that ride? I think it's in Gurnee, Illinois.
You talking about the American Eagle?
Yeah, where it's like versus each other.
Yeah, this wouldn't have been versus, but it would have been two different mine trains. Basically the same. I assume they were kind of mirror opposites of each other, or I don't really know. Did you know in Disney World there's two Space Mountains tracks?
Wait, really?
Yeah, when you either go on one or the other, but they're so similar you don't really notice.
Well, one you're in the dark too.
They're all you can't see anything. But anyway, they operated as two tracks until 84. They decided to convert one of the tracks to the Rail Blazer. Now, I was only 7 when this happened, and I vaguely remember seeing the sign. I was too young to go on the Rail Blazer, but it was the world's third stand-up roller coaster. And it wasn't even like you were sitting down at all. This was just a terrible, terrible idea. It was basically you followed along. I guess they kept the same track. They might have modified it a little bit, but you stood up the entire ride.
Wait, what?
Yeah, like you weren't sitting down at all. You were standing up, and it was like the Mine Train roller coaster. But it seemed like it would be super uncomfortable. Like, especially if what happened, unfortunately, it was only open for a few months, and a lady fell out of it and died. They have conflicting stories. The husband who was next to her says she was perfectly fine and just fell out. Six Flags, I think, was claiming she may have fainted or passed out, causing her to not be able to stand and kind of fall out. But either way, you shouldn't be falling out. No matter if you're conscious or not, you shouldn't fall out. Like if we were on a roller coaster and fainted, we shouldn't fall out, But anyway, so that didn't last long, the Rail Blazer. So after that happened, that was the end of that ride. It was never to be used again. And then 4 or 5 years later, I think 88 or 89, they sold the second track to another park. I believe it was Dollywood. Yeah. And then it went somewhere else, and it's still in operation today, the second mine train track. So now we're just down to the one. And, it's a great mine train for the youngins who want to go on their first roller coaster. It's not very intense, but just intense enough to where it's kind of fun. So that was a little history on the River King Mine Train. Should we leave it the way it is? Caleb has already said yes. No, make no changes. You love it. Okay.
Yeah. End the video now.
Video's over. Okay. I'm gonna say this is a hard one because this is a classic.
Choose your words wisely.
I know. I really do like the ride. I kind of like the smell when you go into the queue area. It's like that old wood, you know what I'm talking about. Like, there's a smell inside there. I kind of just like it.
You like old wood smell?
Yeah, it reminds me of old timey Six Flags. So if they were to keep it the same forever, I'm fine with that. Second option is refurbish it or redo it some way. The only thing I have a complaint with this.
What?
there is 3 lift hills on this ride that kind of kill the momentum. So when you start, you go up a hill, and then you kind of go around a turn real fast, and then you have to go up another hill, and then you do another quick turn, and then you do a little little bumpity bump, and then you have to go up a 3rd lift hill before you go down the final drop through the tunnel. I wish we could eliminate at least one of the lift hills and make the first lift hill taller, so then we can incorporate a couple of the elements without, because you lose all the momentum.
Yeah.
You go up the hill, and then you're just getting into the ride, then it stops, and then you usually break your back as it goes, and then you go up another lift hill, and then it starts to get going again. You're like, yeah, and you're going around a corner, and then over a couple bumps, and then it stops, and you go, then you go up another lift hill, and you go down. So just like these lift hills kill the momentum of this ride.
Well, I'm just imagining someone just looking
And-
through a window, just seeing you.
I know, I get whiplash. But that would be, I mean, to do that, they'd have to pretty much redo the entire ride. I understand that. But I guess they're kind of stuck with what they have. But I would hope if they were to redo it, they can at least eliminate a lift hill. Maybe 2.
Okay.
But the 3rd option is tear it down.
No.
I'm not opposed to this either. I know it's 50 years old. It's a classic. I think everyone enjoys it for the most part. Kids love it. Adults like it. It's not very intense. But there's a lot of land around there.
No.
Yeah, I'm just about to cry here. And I feel like they could
No.
build a better mine train
No.
just from the start.
No,
With a
but-
bigger hill.
But it's 50 years old.
I know, and they could
you
just-
can't do
They could
that.
maybe just make it a little longer or a little more intense or faster.
Okay. There's one thing I need to say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, with the name River King Mine Train, there's no river.
Well,
Was
I
it
actually
River
researched that.
King?
There was some kind of a coal mine around there that was named after, but.
Oh, is that why there's,
Yeah,
like-
something like that. Everyone just calls it the mine train.
Also, there's like a lot of woods and trees there.
Yeah,
It's
and I like that about it, where you're you're in it, and I don't want them to ever tear those down. But I don't know. I'm just kind of like, if they were to tear it down and start over, I wouldn't cry too heavily about it. I have to console Caleb here, but I have a feeling that's never going to happen. They're going to leave this there until this thing just breaks down completely. It's one of the few rides where when you get out, they have to push down like on a latch that releases the bar. You don't ever see that anymore. It's like that's how old it is. So Caleb's saying leave it alone. I'm saying either leave it alone or tear the whole thing down and start over. I could go either way. But I personally think they're going to leave it alone. They need to do a lot more things, like give us some more roller coasters, give us a better log flume, give us some more flat rides, give us something. So though I think that's the lowest priority they got right now, is to refurbish an existing ride. So tell us your thoughts on the River King Mine Train. Tell us if anyone has ever been on the Railblazer. If you are, wow, you're one of the few, because that ride was not here long at all. I was only 7, but I remember the day that happened with that lady. It was just,
Wait, were you there?
I wasn't there, but a neighbor of ours, I think, worked there, and I remember hearing her. She was there on that day, and I remember her talking about it in the neighborhood. So I still remember that, and I can remember seeing the sign. I guess we had gone during the summer at some point and said Railblazer, but I was too young to write it. Horrible tragedy, horrible idea to even do something that stupid, and I don't know who came up with that. It doesn't even seem like it'd be fun.
So even if you pass out, like, why would you like fall out?
It just, that's because they did not have it properly tested. So
Yeah.
Who knows? Well, that is another edition of the Six Flags show. Hope you're enjoying these until the park reopens in just a few weeks. We will hopefully be there. Hopefully the weather will be somewhat nice. It's supposed to be having some kind of spring break activities going on or something with like a DJ, and I don't know. But with that being said, we'll see you next time. Have a Six Flags day. May the adventure continue.
Like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah.